Greetings from Australia to Milan and the beautiful museum. And I've had the honour to work on the biography of Armando Gentillucci. Australia is so much different from Italy, as we've been talking about when I've been playing or had my pieces played by Alessandra. That there's so much space here. We're surrounded by oceans from the South Pole to the equator, as it were. And we are very broad across. So when I was needing to have further education for the piano, which is how I started, I had to travel 3,500 miles across this broad country through the desert to Melbourne from Perth, where I was born 89 years ago. So we are only, the other thing is, you're 2,000, shall we say 2,000, I know it's more than that, years old, but we are only 238 years old virtually. So there's a very big difference there. So our inspirations come from a different aspect, in that we have been very much, our minds have been brought into understand a lot more about the land. And the land is very sacred to the Aborigines. And we understand that the land has more than just the usual significance of ownership or anything like that. That's not what that is about. And we have so many different districts that are divided by different kinds of trees, different landforms, deserts to oceans. And so we have actually so many ways of looking at music anew, the music that we would like to write. The awareness of country was really first brought forward by the Australian composer Peter Sculthorpe, who tried to find ways to express this completely new place. We were brought up, of course, in the same musical tradition as European and UK students, students from the Northern Hemisphere. But when Peter Sculthorpe was given a commission by the conductor Sir Bernard Heinz, who was also the director of our conservatorium in Melbourne, which was a performance conservatorium, he asked him to write something without rhythm, without harmony, and without melody. So again, our rather radical natures rose to the occasion, in that Peter Sculthorpe wrote a piece called Sun Music, which is so different from other musical forms that had been done up to that time. And that happened, yes, he went overseas with this composition, and it was quite a startling opening to Australian music from the people overseas. That was about 1968, and at the same time I was in Canberra singing roles in Canberra Opera Group, ABC radio recitals, in piano as well. Also, I had a successful private teaching practice, but I was invited to join a contemporary composition class with Larry Sitzke at the newly established School of Music. I was given a scholarship in 1971, and the first commission, 6 meditations from the Upanishads. So already I was looking around for texts that were not European in origin. And Peter had been looking for inspiration to Australia itself, the actual land itself, And of course, if you are seeking to understand the land, you have to come to terms with the Aborigines and their way of thinking. And that's why he was able to write something as different from European music in rhythm, harmony and melody as if they did not exist. He'd started from scratch. Others, like Anne Boyd, used the gamelan and Eastern modes of writing. So from the time that I was in Canberra, we were making the same kind of beginnings in our composition thinking that Armando Gentilucci displayed in the book as I was reading it and working on the edition of the translation. So it was very exciting to come across this after all those years apart, because I wasn't able to get back to composition after winning that scholarship in 1971 until the early 90s. And this is the first time I'd come across anybody who'd been thinking along the lines that we had accepted. Of course, he'd gone much more into a precise method that he used uniquely himself. So you can see we then took on young people, had a lot more chance to study and write than we did. But this is all part of the exciting development of a special kind of music. So it's been lovely to work with you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Buonasera a tutti, grazie a Nomus e a Maddalena Novati per la bellissima iniziativa di martedì pomeriggio insieme. È un'iniziativa che mi piace tanto, che ascolto volentieri, non sempre live, ma comunque l'ascolto sempre, e per questo sono felice di poter contribuire, seppur pochissimo e anche con mezzi di fortuna, perché non sono molto tecnologica purtroppo, con un brano di May Howlett, che è una signora australiana, una brillante compositrice con una carriera anche da cantante e cabarettista. Lei ha scritto moltissime opere per pianoforte, fra cui questa Toccata, che è parte di una sonata in 3 movimenti, ma ha pure diciamo, contribuito molto attivamente alla traduzione in inglese del libro di Armando Gentilucci, e per quello mi sembrava carino suonare il primo movimento della sua sonata per pianoforte numero 1, la Toccata.